Hello everyone, I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. This is Steve coming back with another video for hopefully your enjoyment here. So this series I'm going to introduce a few different things that's going on that's exciting in my life at this time. So one of the main things right now is this. Trying to get it in there to show it to you in one piece there. Okay, what's so exciting about a Commodore 64, and even more so, what's exciting about an empty Commodore 64? Well, my Commodore 64, you guys may have known, for the longest time, would overheat, and it would just shut off. You've probably seen a few examples where I was playing it, and all of a sudden it would just go black, and then I couldn't get it responding back. Often I had to switch power supplies because my Commodore 64 was overheating, so I finally connected with somebody that is going to be fixing it for me. I'm going to be sending him two of my Commodore 64s. I already did send him two. I sent him two motherboards, and he's going to be fixing those for me, so I'm really excited about that. And yeah, that's just one of the greater things right now. So I'm going to give him a shout out very soon for that. I think he deserves all credit and stuff like that for what he does. I'm going to keep him anonymous for right now until he's okay with that. But anyways, just getting the Commodore 64 fixed is just going to be so great for me. More because I can spend more time on looking up the programs, and I mentioned this before, but these discs right here, many of these contain, you can see right there, have programs that I've written back in the 80s, and they're just lost forever on these discs until I can get them out. So that's one of the reasons why I want to be able to do this, so I can go back and I can start writing my own programs again. And one of my next goals is to get them off of the Commodore 64 and onto the desktop. Now, how am I going to accomplish that? Well, with this, hopefully, this is a 1541. This is a 1541 Ultimate 2, and one of the cartridges I've been looking forward to getting. If I'm not misunderstanding this, what I'm understanding it does, and I've had a lot of referrals to people telling me about this, is it'll allow me to run software that's written in D64 files on the desktop and run them on my Commodore 64 system, my physical system here. However, what I really want to do is the reverse. I want to be able to take all of those software disks, everything I have, all those programs I've written, and I want to be able to get them to my desktop computer. Why? So I can upload them to GitHub. And yes, that is one of my main missions. And if anybody recommends and tells me this is not the device to get or this is not going to work, please let me know. This is a pretty expensive investment. It's like $175. And the guy has to build them. They're going to be available by November. I want to make sure I'm getting into the right investment. I realize my Commodore 64 software here is probably not written in these 64 files. At least I don't think they are. And I need to get those onto my desktop so I can run them in Vice. Without that, I'm not going to be able to do anything with them. I mean, without emulators, we would never have this. Basically, we would never have people showing Commodore 64 stuff on the desktop. We would have people just showing your systems and stuff. But anyways, that's one of my goals. So those are two things I'm kind of hyped about right now. The third thing I mentioned before is the machine language project is still underway. And I have a couple people that I've built projects with before. And I went on Limit 64 and I advertised this not too long ago. And I mentioned that I'm looking, I made it real simple. I didn't sit there and say, oh, I'm recruiting people. I said, you know, can you guys recommend some good machine language books where I could really dig my roots into machine language? And because I admit myself, I don't really know. I claim to know nothing about machine language, okay? I'm a dummy when it comes to machine language. Believe it or not, I'm a dummy. So anyways, what this dummy wants to do is he wants to learn from other people. I'm very open-minded, and I'm always willing to learn from people. Shout out to Bo and just other people in the channel who have contributed. Just great, great people to know, and really, really intelligent people, and really know what they're doing, and really can put stuff together. So I like that. We're looking for musicians, graphic artists. I want to build a simulation, of course. Make it something simple. Now, I think it's best to start with something simple and not go for the long run like a game or anything, so that can take a long time. And a lot of time, games are built from simulations. Many demo projects that were built back in the 80s in Commodore 64 evolved into actually full-fledged games. So I'm looking forward to that. And yes, if we could get that underway, that'd be great. So why am I saying all this? Because I didn't advertise that on, but I was talking to a few people about it, and as I was talking to them on that same forum, I asked them if they were interested in also I probably did mention it in a little bit. I think I did, now that I'm saying it, I think I did mention a little bit of my promotional part, you know, that I'm looking for people, and I connected with another guy. So far, now earlier I advertised on Twitter, and the other guy declined because he was doing other stuff, and I saw a lot of his work, and it was really great. This guy has already built a really cool game on there. I don't want to put it out and expose it yet because I don't want to put anybody in the light if they don't want to be put there. But if it becomes a reality, then we'll meet him. He also is going to try to get me connected with a musician and just other people who have such a passion for the Commodore 64. And if I'm not mistaken, he does this professionally, and he even writes games and he sells them. So this would be so awesome to have somebody like this on board. This is like my dream. This is like something I would have loved to have back in the 80s if I could collaborate with more people like this. I feel very blessed right now. I'm very fortunate to meet somebody like that. And hopefully it all goes well. Myself, what am I here all about? I can write a little bit of machine language stuff, yeah, and I enjoy BASIC. But I consider myself a storyteller. I have a channel I put out there not too long ago called scribeguy.com, and I advertise it in the description link all the time. And essentially, I've loved writing stories since I've been a little kid. So I think I can put together a really good story and make it interesting to people. That's something I've never had a problem with. I've written, like I said, tons of stories and just enjoy reading myself. I just finished a book called The Pigmen. It was written in the 80s, but I know it's an older book. Yeah, and I just enjoy reading Commodore 64 books. I've got the semi-language books I've been reading. You know, of course, I'm going through the C64 Owner's Manual right now, and that's going to continue too. We're going to continue to finish that BASIC project because I just really want to make sure I'm consistent with everything I do. I know I have not been in the past, and I really apologize to everybody. I really want to become more consistent. And I think projects like My Computer Journey have really taught me the consistency, because last night I had to sit there and put a lot of that material together. I have these journals that I read. Well, I probably never showed you them or anything, but it's going to be silly. But I used to do this back in the days. Yeah, they called them diaries, but they're journals. So I used to write a lot of journals. I wrote them for 10 years when I was building my when I was programming my Commodore 64 system, and of course my Atari at the time and other computers. I wrote everything about them. I wrote down every date of every program so I know exactly when I wrote such and such program. So I'm just that kind of person, like to document and record things. But also, it made me realize some of the things, and as I built that video, I don't mean to get off on a tangent here, but My Computer Journey made me realize that one time I lost respect for the Commodore 64, and my friend was interested in it, and I traded it. I traded all his Atari stuff for my Commodore 64, everything. I mean, it was like we did an even swap, kind of. I got his disk drives, I got his programs, he got my disk drives, programs, and so on. The only addition I got extra was a printer. But yeah, so anyways, I consider myself a good storyteller and just try to put stuff together. I've always liked to draw. That's something else I enjoy really doing, is putting art together. Not really good with animation. I could probably use a good animator and stuff like that. But I really like putting pictures on the screen and stuff like that. So let me show you something. Okay, sidestepping from the normal. This is a picture I painted on Microsoft Paint. I think it was around 2006 or something like that. I don't have the exact dates, but it may be before that. This is a picture I painted on Paint. Now you can see that I love drawing, and I did this on a computer screen. There's like another addition to it. This is probably a little bit better version there. Different light or color. I changed some shading. This is another picture I designed while I was having fun. And I did these at work. Actually, at that time, I was working in a call center here in Arizona, and we were working for a telecom company. And a lot of times we didn't get any calls. And between calls, I actually built these projects, or these pictures, whatever. So here's some more. That's an older picture. Here's one of supposed to be George Washington. I looked at a quarter on this one. I kind of cheated a little bit and got his face, and then I just enacted the background as I decided to come up with it. So I've always enjoyed art and stuff like that. Let's see what else is on here. I might need to save the rest of them. Actually, I think that was it. And here's another picture. It's kind of an outside scene. I don't like this one a whole lot. There was one I really, really enjoyed. It was a picture of a tree and had like a field like that. It was really, really detailed, but I never got that loaded back. And these are from my floppy disk. I think that was the last. Oh yeah, here's another one. This is the company I actually worked for. In those days, and now you can see I actually emulated my exact cubicle in this example. So that was it. I just wanted to show you those guys because I really enjoy, you know, art, and I just really enjoy bringing stories to life. And just, you know, if I could recreate this on a Commodore 64, not these things, but just recreate, you know, art on a Commodore 64 and a story behind it, and with some great developers and musicians have got to have music. It'll be amazing what we could come up with. I think it'll be just so cool. So anyways, I'm just going to leave that video there. So I already mentioned the Commodore 64, the Ultimate. I'm looking forward to getting that right here, the Ultimate 2, so that I can get my Commodore 64 transferable. And then meeting up with these musicians I met, these programmers and developers I met on Lemon 64, and I won't mention their names, but yep, we'll see how it goes and play by ear. So as always, guys, please like, favorite, and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys so much. I want you to know if I could call you out by name, I would. You guys have been a tremendous support to a guy who doesn't really know what he's doing half the time on a Commodore 64 and may talk too fast. But anyways, I really do appreciate you guys. Let me know also why you're here. What do you find interesting about my channel? What draws you here? You know, what are you looking for? The Machine Language Project, I think, would be a really cool thing. I've got some people saying Atari stuff. Now, I do have an Atari channel for those people watching for Atari. Maybe I should throw that up real quick here, too. Okay, so this is my other Atari channel. My Atari channel. I separated this from the Commodore 64 when I realized I wanted to keep the other channel, See the Truth for Yourself, as only Commodore 64 stuff. I know it started with GTA, Dark GDK, and I got a little bit on a tangent, but I want to keep that mainly the Commodore 64, and it's my biggest channel of all of them. So this one you see has no subscribers, barely, because I haven't really done anything to it. And I know I need to get this to work now. If I also am able to get these programs off, not only the Commodore 64, I can also get these, well, anyways, never mind. I won't be able to get them from the Atari. I need a device for that. But anyways, I think it'll be interesting. I don't really have a lot of Atari software I could really convert over anyway. But I could come up with some examples. I do have some Atari books. But anyways, not to put this in Atari. But I want you to know I do have a channel if you want to check it out. I've made a few different tutorials here and so forth. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. So please like, favorite, subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Share any of the videos you feel like with, you know, your friends that I have, and let me know what you're looking forward to. You're looking for more basic programs, and we'll finish this project, I promise. Anything else you're looking for that you're stuck on, maybe something I need to reiterate, whatever, just let me know, guys, because I'm here for you. This channel would not exist without you, of course. So I appreciate you guys so much, and thanks for watching.